All right, so just as we were discussing, let's see how this week goes for us. All right, so quickly let's look at Euro JPY. So Euro JPY on the monthly, we could see that there has been a break in market structure. All right, and I mean, once you see a break in market structure, next thing you should look out for is a return to that structure before a continuation either to the upside or to the downside. All right, yeah, so let's quickly look at the weekly too and see what has happened the weekly. All right, so this is on the weekly. This is on the weekly. So as you can see, I'm expecting price to bounce off this level. Yeah, so currently price is pushing towards that level. So you can see that we are bearish. Yeah, so I expect that price comes to this level before it continues pushing up. So this is it too on the daily. All right. Now look at what is happening on daily. Price bounced off. Price rejected when it got to this zone. This area. All right. So going into next week, I'll be very much particular about price retracing a little bit because we have some liquidity up here. All right. Then a possible reversal if price should take off these liquidities. All right. Yes, but I'll look at how price will take off this low. If price fails to pick up or fails to clear these lows, I will then start looking for buying opportunities either to target this area, or this area, because even with this area, I'm seeing some fair value gaps in here. This gap. I'm seeing a gap in here. I'm seeing a gap in here, of which going into next week, price will likely fill those gaps before it continues pushing down. So going into next week with this pair, I'll be very patient on this pair because looking at this and looking at where price is currently rejecting. See, it was an area of resistance. Price is trying to turn it into support. So price turning to support, I'll be expecting price to push. I'll be expecting price to push to this level before it continues to push down. So that is my expectation on Euro JPY going into next week. Yeah, sorry, this week rather. Yeah, we already entered a new week. So let's quickly look at NZD JPY. What is NZD JPY also doing? So this is NZD JPY. So as you can see, on a higher time period, a monthly, there has been a break in market structure. The next thing we look out for there has been a break in market structure. A break in market structure here. So the next thing we look out for is for price to bounce off, here rather. Yeah. Yeah, this side. Yeah, this area. So I'm expecting price to move and bounce off at this level. That is on the monthly time frame. So for now, I'm going to be bearish on NZD I'm going to be bearish. But looking at the weekly, look at what is happening here. There is a major swing low from here, which price is struggling to break the swing low. So let's go to daily for us to see things so clearly in here. Okay, so as you can see, liquidity has been taken. Liquidity here has already been taken. Price has moved up, come back into this order block. All right. Yeah. So if I'm seeing price pushing up, it is not surprising to see price pushing up. So what I'm expecting to see is that price push up to this level, push up to this level, and then see a continuation to the downside. Yes. So basically I'm bearish on, yes. So it is so clear. All right, it is so clear on the 4-hour. Look at this other block here, price broke market structure. This is the last down close candle prior to this up movement. All right, and upon price returning to this area, I didn't respect this other block. It broke it. So once it breaks it, this becomes a breaker. So I'm expecting price to push to this level, and then it continue to push down. So that is my expectation on NZD USD. So going into next week, I'll pay much attention to this pair. So expecting to see what I need to see before I place myself. So let's look at NZD JPY. Look at NZD JPY too. All right. So looking at NZD JPY on a higher time frame, okay. So on a higher time frame, you can see there has been a break in market structure. All right. So as I always say, once you break market structure, the next thing you look out for is for price to come back to that structure, and then you push up. The overall order flow on NZD/JPY is bullish, all right? Boss. Okay. All right. So the overall the overall order flow is bullish. Just that after breaking market structure, what we see we have to see is bearish retracement. Yes. And please, if you are hearing me, just type Y on the page on the chat panel. Seems someone is not hearing me. Okay, someone is hearing me. So if you're not hearing me, that means check your from your side. Okay, I have 2 people confirming. So if you're not hearing me, just check from your side. Check from your side and see. Check from your side. Okay, so I'm expecting this to happen in a monthly time frame before it shoots up. Yeah. So on a monthly time frame, this is my expectation on a monthly time frame. Okay. This is my expectation on a monthly time frame. So let's quickly look at the weekly too and see what is happening to on a weekly. Yes. So as you can see, even though price might struggle breaking this low, because it took out this liquidity before it shoots up. But nevertheless, let's just go to the daily time frame too and see what is happening on the daily time frame. So I think it's clear. It's clear on a daily time frame. It's so clear on a daily time frame. So going into Monday, within this week, I will expect that at least price will push up. Because we have a small fair value gap in here. So I'll expect some push up in here before it continues to sell. Alright. If price plays out as I'm expecting, this area will be my first target, and then this area will be my second target. All right, so measuring, let's see, so from this area to this area is about 100 pips, and then extending to the second one is about 260 pips. Yeah, so that is my target. I always say that I don't target, because I'm a swing trader, I always love targeting trades that comes with high returns. Yeah, so let's see if we can see something for our time frame. Okay, so it's very clear. It's very clear now. So I'm expecting some bounce off here and then a push up to the downside. So that is my expectation on Usd JPY. Let's look at CHF JPY. CHF JPY last week I was expecting a push, but unfortunately price didn't get to my target. It got to a middle of the target and I had to get out because I wasn't really convinced as to what I'm seeing. Yeah. So I think those in my VIP, you realize that they got to a point I told you to get out of the trade because I wasn't really seeing what I needed to see. Yes. So looking at the monthly is not so clear for me. Monthly is not so clear for me. So let me just go to the weekly and also see. Okay. So as you can see, price is still pushing down. We have some liquidity, sell side liquidity, that is liquidity at the downside for market makers to grab. We are not seeing any clear PD array in here for us to set our target to. So let's quickly go to the daily to and see what is happening in there. Alright, so this is what is happening on the daily. This is what is happening on the daily. It's price action is still not clear to me because what I'm expecting to see, I'm not really seeing it. I'm not really seeing it on this pair. I'm not really seeing it on this pair. Yes. I'm not really seeing it on this pair. So even if I'll take a trade on this pair, even if I'm going to take a trade on this pair, this will be my range high. This area is going to be my high, and this area will be my low. So I'll just focus on looking for opportunities within this range. Yes, I'll look for opportunities within this range because I'm not really seeing any clear setup. Okay, so going into next week, I think the 4 hour is clear, a little bit clear for me. I'll look at how price will react when it gets to this low. All right, if price is able to break this low, I'll expect to see a retest of this low, then straight to this area, and that will be about 166 pips. Yeah, that is a good target for me to take. So this will be my expectation going into next week on CHF JPY. Let's quickly look at USD CHF. So with USD CHF, we've seen that price has been pushing to the upside. Price has, even though on the monthly we haven't seen a clear break in market structure, but if we should look at this, we could see that a small structure has been broken here. Yeah, let's go to a weekly to see things clearly. Okay, it's still not really clear. Still, because see, price bounced off. It didn't even, okay, it bounced off the low of this other block. All right, yeah. So it's like price wants to push up, push down or up, but it hasn't. It's not really decisive on the higher time frame. It's not really decisive. But when you look at it, look at what is happening on the daily time frame. Look at what is happening. See, look at what is happening on the daily time frame. So if price should continue to push up, this will be my expectation. I will expect price to push to this level and then continue down, because there are lots of liquidity in here. Yeah, sorry. There are lots, so I expect price to push up here and then push down to this other block we are seeing in here. So I'm not really decisive on USD CHF. I'll observe how price will react on Monday. And again, Monday is, we have a high impact news for all pairs. So I'm just hoping that we see some liquidity injection in the market to be able to see what I want to see. So almost 400 pips. That is a very good target for me. So once I see it, I won't hesitate to place a sell. Why? Because this area is a high resistance liquidity. It is a high resistance liquidity because liquidity here has already been taken. Liquidity here has already been taken, and once market makers picks up liquidity here, it will be very difficult for them to break this high. All right. So even if I place a sell here, even if I place a sell here, the only signature I'm expecting to see if this high should be violated is some consolidation. All right, because the market makers will struggle breaking this high. You see some level of consolidations in here before it breaks. So once I see that consolidation, it will clearly tell me that, oh, my setup will be invalidated very soon. So that will enable me to get out of the trade. That will enable me to get out of the trade before it even hits my stop loss. Yeah. So that is my expectation on USD CHF. So let's look at our last pair, that is GBP JPY, and see what is happening in there. Quickly going into the monthly time frame. Okay, so as you can see, this is my expectation. All right, this is my expectation on the monthly time frame. Actually, I expect this Forex to be filled. There has been a break in market structure. So once there is a break in market structure, I expect price to return to that structure before it moves, continues that major direction. Yeah, so that is it on the monthly. Let's quickly look at the weekly to and see what is happening on the weekly. So you see it's so clear on the weekly. See, on the weekly there has been some level of consolidations, all right? And I mean, if you have a consolidation price action, after consolidation, what you should see is expansion, all right? And looking at this range high and this range low, if I should pull my fib, the current price will be above the 50% of my fib, which will clearly tell me that price is in a premium. So if price is in a premium, what I look for is sell opportunities. Yes. If price is in a premium, I look for sell opportunities. And I don't even need to pull the fib for price to tell me it's in a premium, because looking at where price is, I'm taking this range high and this range low. This range high and this range low. So it tells me that price is currently in a very deep premium, of which I'm expecting an expansion to the downside in this consolidation. All right, to fill all these voids. So if I see the expansion I'm waiting for, the expansion will come, then a retracement. So by retracing, my target will be here. Yes, I'll take the trade and hold the trade to this place. Yeah, because I'm a swing trader, I don't even care holding trades for even a month. Yeah, because that is a reflection of my personality. That person that always very patient in taking trade setups and all that. So as you can see on a daily, this is what is happening on a daily. So I'm expecting these lows to be taken out. I'm really expecting these lows to be taken out on a long-term basis. These lows should be taken out. So on the 4-hour, this is what is happening on the 4-hour. Yes. So we've seen a little bit of expansion breaking this structure. When I go to lower time frames, you see it so clear. So this structure has been broken. So going into next week, I'll expect to see price move into this area, then moves up into this area before it continues to sell. So going into next week, I'll be a little bit bullish on GBP JPY before I concentrate on my major sales, because there is a huge void here to be filled. Looking at what happened last week, see what happened last week. Last week, price filled this void before it pushed down. So what I did was, once I saw this happening, I realized that price would definitely push down. So I placed a sell stop. Yeah. If you see this, maybe you think it's a lost trade, but no, it wasn't. All right. If you are in my VIP area last week, this trade gave us 90 pips, but unfortunately it couldn't get here. So we played the sell stop here, and then price pushed to the downside. So going into next week, I will expect the same thing to happen, fill this liquidity void and continue to push down. All right. So that is it. That is my expectation for this week. If you have any question, you can just post it in the chat panel. I see if I can give you an answer to it, and then we end it here. Is there any question? Or you can unmute yourself and ask your question. Any question? And please, are you hearing me? If you are hearing me, let me know. Let me know in the chat panel. If you are hearing me, let me know in the chat panel. Oh, okay. How do you minimize your stop loss? For my stop loss, I don't minimize my stop loss. All right. Once I set my stop loss, I set it. What I do is I look for an invalidation area. All right. So that when price gets to that area, obviously it tells me that this trade will clearly go against my direction. So in order not for me to incur much loss or to cut my losses, when it gets there, I just have to close my trade. And this always helps me to cut my losses, even though I set a stop loss. Yeah. So that is how I do it. Okay, you mind looking at Usd Chf? All right, so we could look at Usd Chf to and see what is happening in there. Serious money under those loops. Yeah, sure. GBP smart money. GBP smart money is really gearing up for lots of sales. Yeah, sure. There's going to be a lot of sales there's on GBP GPY. Okay, and do you have a particular pips for your Excel? Yeah, I don't go beyond 50 pips. Yes, I don't go beyond 50 pips. I don't go beyond 50 pips. Yeah, that is my maximum. All right, and then my minimum to it varies. Sometimes I even use 10 pips, 8 pips, 15 pips. But my maximum stop loss is 50 pips. Yeah, I don't go beyond 50 pips. Any trade that is suggesting a more than 50 pips stop loss, I just ignore that trade. Yeah, so do you think swing trading is for? Oh yes, it doesn't. You see, people always say that you need a bigger account so that you can swing your trades, but it's not it. All right, it's all about managing your risk, and then it's all about managing your risk. All right, yeah, and knowing how to manage your trade. All right, yes. I don't support the idea that you need a big account. No, you don't need a big account. In this industry, you don't need a big account to make a lot of money in the market. All right, you need to be a good trader, and once you're a good trader, you can risk as less as 20 pips, and then target or you bag a trade with a target of 200 pips plus. Yeah, it all depends on how you do your structures and all that. Yes, do you take your trades on a smaller time? No. I don't take my trades on a smaller time frame. Most of the times when I go to the smaller time frame, what I use it for is for entries. I go to lower time frames to confirm my entries, and then that is the 5 minute, 15 minutes, and then a 5 minutes time frame. those are for entries. I don't even look at those time frames to take my trades. Yeah, because I'm a swing trader, I don't really concentrate on those time frames. The least time frame I go to if I want to see things clear for myself, the 1 hour time frame. I don't go beyond that to see what is happening. I just go there to take entries. Yeah, so that is it. So let's quickly look at Euro CHF as someone suggested. We have some few minutes to go, so let's quickly look at Euro CHF. How do you confirm your entries? Okay, I'll come to you. Let's just look at what has happened on Euro CHF. When I'm done, I'll just. Okay, so looking at Euro CHF on a higher time frame, you could see that liquidity has been taken, sell side liquidity has already been taken. So on a higher time frame, I should expect to see some level of bullishness. All right, I'll expect to see some level of bullishness, and even though looking at the price action on a higher time frame is not really clear to me. It's not so clear to me. Trust me, it's not so clear. So you see that even though on a higher time frame it's looking bullish, when it comes to the weekly, if you realize that there are lows, there are sell side liquidity to be cleared. This area, this side, this side, this side, this area. All right. Yes, this area. So sorry, this one has already, this liquidity has already been cleared. So for which price is currently in this area? All right, price is currently at this breaker. So price action on this pair to me is really undecisive. So as you can see, price action on this pair is really undecisive for me. All right, so if I should take this trade, if I should take this trade, I will expect to see price break the structure. All right, break the structure. I will expect to see price break the structure, get here, and come back to this structure again and target here. All right, so if you are looking at this pair, this is the signatures you have to look for going into next week. Else you wait and see if this low will be able to break. Price will be able to break this low. If it's able to break this low, you just wait for a retest of this low and then you look for sell opportunity to the downside. But currently this high will likely be broken and then structure, come back to the structure and then get here, because this was consolidation, expansion. So after consolidation and then after consolidation, expect expansion, which has happened. After expansion, you either expect retracement or reversal. All right, so currently consolidation, expansion, the next is retracement or reversal. So let's see if it's going to retrace. All right, so for now, your first target, if you have to take this trade, all right, if you have to take this trade, if you have to take this trade, if it breaks this and look for a proper entry and then you enter, your first target should be this place, because when it gets here, you don't know if it's just a retracement or reversal or continue to push up. So this area should be your first target. Let's see. This area should be your first target. Yeah, this area should be your first target, and then you see how price will react. All right. Yeah. So quickly, that is what I have or what I think on this pair. All right. So let me quickly answer the last question that was posted. All right. Let me quickly answer how I enter the market. All right. So this is it. I wait for, if I'm bullish, I wait for a break in this structure and then I come back to the structure. So this place is where I'll take my entry. Oh, so if I'm bullish, I'll take my entry right here and then I'll target this high being, I'll target this place being my first point of target. This will be my target. So once this structure is breaking, I'll wait for price to come back to the structure. So I'll take my entry here. So that is how I take my entries. So by doing that, I go to the lower time frame, such as the 15 or the 5 minutes time frame, to look for such signatures. So I think that is that. I think that is that to end here. And then please, concerning my upcoming